And gentlemen, we have the final session of the conclave remaining. This one is a real talk session, which is all about inspiring success stories. This will be the final session of the conclave, and after that, we take a 10 minutes break, post which we will be beginning with the award ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, when my friends get the chairs ready, I'll quickly talk about the real talk session. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is about inspiring success stories. Our first guest over here is a distinguished structural engineering expert with over 2 decades of industry experience. His unwavering commitment to engineering excellence, innovation, and leadership has positioned him as a key influencer in the field. Renowned for his technical expertise, problem-solving acumen, and strategic vision, he has played a pivotal role in transforming the structural engineering landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to welcome loudly the presence of Mr. Amudhalingam. Ladies and gentlemen, zor se taali please for him, the one and only Amudhalingam ji. Thank you so much, sir. Request you to take your seat. Our second dignitary for this session, ladies and gentlemen, he has been a civil engineer with specialization in cement chemistry, concrete technology, repair and rehabilitation of engineering structures, and techno-commercial litigation of all aspects. He has nearly 30 years of experience and in-depth understanding of construction contracts, project management, remedying construction defects, and preparing and technical negotiating large complex aspects as well. He has been representing clients from owners, contractors, subcontractors, vendors, and all sorts of stakeholders as an arbitrator in tribunals and appellated litigations on all construction law matters for the full spectrum of the construction industry. Ladies and gentlemen, no brownie points for guessing. I'm talking about the one and only P.S. Reddy, sir, from E Infra Legal Associates. Please give him a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us over here. Please give him a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He certainly deserves it for all the wonderful work that he has done and the legacy that he has created over the years. And of course, to moderate this session, she's an active architectural practitioner for the last decade or so, forayed in the field of journalism in the year 2006. She knows who I'm talking about. This is Sapna Srivastava, ladies and gentlemen, editor, Realty Plus, and of course a huge pillar when it comes to today's event. So unke liye ek aur baar zor se bajaye taali, Sapna, Tripti, and the entire team of Realty Plus for putting this event for all of you together over here in Hyderabad. Sapna, over to you. Thank you.
This is okay. So wonderful. I think we had some really fantastic sessions all through the day. And thanks for the wonderful introduction, Shubhajit. We have today with us the engineers, expert engineers, technocrats. And, we've been talking about real estate till now. We recently had the budget. So let me start with asking my technocrats and engineers. If you have to rate budget from 1 to 5 for real estate, Mr. Reddy, how will you rank the budget for the sector?
Yeah.
Just the rating, just the ranking. What
ranking,
would be the...
I can say 2.5.
Oh, that's quite low.
Specifically to real estate. If you talk about construction infra, that is different. But when we are talking about a middle class person buying a flat or a villa, there is no motivation in this budget, so which we will dwell upon. So that's the reason I said 2.5.
2.5 for real estate.
I might beg to differ from here, so I might give a little higher rating of 3.5.
Okay, 3.5. Okay. So no 5-star ratings for the budget.
No, it's not about 5-star rating. It's all about the impacts of that, what has come in. To roll out to become a real things where you see, like what you're talking, we have gone 2 steps back, we have to move forward. I'm talking more of Hyderabad specific things. So the more importance to be given on the affordable segment on this.
Okay.
And we see, if you see the entire real estate spectrum, we are talking about 100 crores spent in camellias, we are talking about high-end luxuries getting moving, but the real growth happens when you do more in affordable in this segment, which needs to be the next theme or segment in next 10 years in India.
Right. So low ratings for budget for real estate sector from our experts. Moving on to that, we had been talking about, the the previous panel was talking about challenges, ease of doing business and other things. When talking about technology, because you both are problem solvers, you both are into technology for this sector. When it comes to technology, according to you, what is that one or two top challenges that this sector faces? Amudhalingam, you'll go first. What do you think are the...
I think we are talking a lot about digitization because we understand that there is a problem with your real estate workforce and everything. So you wanted to move more towards digitization. But the problem is that both the front end and back end, when I say front end, the policymakers, back end, the contractors. Today the entire digitization is happening only within the consultants and this one, which is very limited to architecture and this, not more than the clash detection models. So the digitization should go where, like in Singapore and everywhere, your approval segments, everything should also become BIM driven. And post, your contractors also should become digital so that the actual benefit of becoming as-built model and a facility management tool, that starts becoming bigger. So you are talking about AI, we are talking about digital twins, we are talking about integration and all this thing. The entire benefit actually becomes positive when you have addressing these 2 points.
Right. So the front end and the, from one end to the other end, the transfer of technology is not happening. While we are using all these big words of AI and digital twins, but on the ground, as Amudhalingam said, is the scenario is very different. Mr. Reddy, what is your observation? What are the top 1 or 2 challenges the sector faces when it comes to technology?
See, basically we are being taught and practicing construction technology and project management, but now those are outdated, okay, with the invent of AI and ease of doing things by digitalization and mechanization of things. So when we talk about adoption of technology, you have to see the entire gamut of supply chain of our construction industry or very specific to real estate. And ultimately, even today, irrespective of the percentage of mechanization, still we are at the mercy of a unskilled laborer who is doing though we are getting ready-mix concrete from a batching plant or maybe from a commercial organization, but still the curing part, I'm saying mixing is over, then placing is also been mechanized, but pumping and other things, but curing onwards is still manual. Here is the challenges. And there is a great opportunity to adopt technologies. But who should do it? Is it the academicians? Are the practicing engineers? Are the industry? Because ours is a very, very fragmented sector, though we call real estate industry or construction industry. But still, as I said, we are adopting, after agriculture, this is the second largest sector for employment. And whenever there is a flooding, famine, drought, or whatever things will happen in a city like Hyderabad, about 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, like Babu Nagar or some places, then they come to migrate to Hyderabad. So unless you have a policy, technology policy, like for example, roti, kapda, makan. When it was starving, when we got independence, we were starving. Today we are surplus, only because of a concept called white revolution, where milk, or green revolution. Today, you should have a technology wave to bring in a faster way and adapt it at site level so that reskilling, upskilling, those are the challenges of the semi-trained, untrained workers and supervisors. Engineers, fine. My colleague panelist, he is a designer. In his office, technology can be adopted, digitalization can be done. But I come from a different background of contracting, have seen people not having the basic needs. Abhi to, thanks to today this our smartphone, but we don't had previously even a good canteen. So
That's
these
right,
are the
I think.
challenges
Yeah.
I am asking the government. That is the reason I was saying we are only making statements in budget, but there is no intent. Some amount of money to be put in creating center of excellences for doing research and also imbibing and penetrating the technology at the grassroots level.
That's right. I think very valid point. In construction sector, there's a huge need of upskilling and reskilling. Because as Amudhalingam said, there's a gap of the technology reaching to the grassroots level. The people who are actually working on the site and the ground. And as Mr. Reddy said, that construction sector is very fragmented. And that is one of the reasons why technology transfer remains on a higher level and does not reach to the lower level or the lower bottom of the pyramid. How are you, in terms of, we spoke about these are the challenges, this is where the gap is. Amudhalingam, how you are approaching this challenge, or what is your approach, your organization approach when you are, for your own business model?
Just to answer this question, I think I'll have to go back 7 years back. So we are talking about the adoption of BIM and everything from 2004. So in Hyderabad, I think our company was launched 8 years back when we started BIM, when there was no takers. Then we started adding, we understood the market that it's not only that, then we need to have other services under one roof. So we started adding MEF. Now last year we have added structures also. So today in offering from Suvih is that we have all structure, MEP and BIM in one roof, and I see now change in the clients. So clients are understanding that after architecture I have everything, all the engineering, construction one. So we start from concept sale till the commissioning. We travel across them all the way. And now what happens, our offerings have been slightly different, where we are not only giving only design services, we are also traveling with the contractor during the contracts, where you build the LOD 400 models, do a plan versus model things. We assist the clients through the contracts for them to preempt what happens and how you be ready, reduce the mitigations, risks and everything. And then you try to create an as-built model from the architect, because as I told you, contractors are not upskilled. So we also help them in doing that. So I am trying to travel from the entire engineering. So I am trying to become an engineering consultant which are traveling from concept to commissioning and try to compare. And we are now extending ourselves. So we are developing some in-house softwares and other things which my partner Sridhar Reddy is helping me out. So what we're also trying to do is, today a big gated community is there. Now after handover from a builder, after 5 years, today RERA says 5 years it's responsibility from a builder. But what happens for the lifelong next 50 years? What they do? What do that facility management do? So then you try to take a data and then prepare a digital twin, help them also. That's the one which we are working on. So we are trying to develop this challenge from concept till the end, and not also in the life of structure.
Okay, so concept to execution and through the life cycle of the building of the project. That's how probably it's not like just, okay, I'm giving a service, I'm being an engineer, but it is hand-holding and advising all through the life of the project and probably beyond. That's fantastic. I think that's one way of approaching technology for the consumer, for the client, and in the end, for the end user. Mr. Reddy, how are you problem solving what challenges we just spoke about in your own organization, through your own work? How are you approaching the growth model?
Yeah, as rightly pointed out, there are challenges of what you call post-construction once the project is handed over, especially gated communities. Maybe after defective liability period, the builder has no role to play, but the structure has a life. So it has a lifespan. So we are talking about the post-construction challenges, post-construction technology, and management, asset management of that type of high-rise buildings, especially high-rise buildings, which are new to Indian climate also. In this scenario, when we have glanced we don't have a literature. Forget about a course offered in a structured way in any of the Indian university. I have no hesitation to say. So we have designed a course. Before that, I have coined called, because today concrete means any structure more or less is a concrete structure only. We have left using brick, stone, steel, timber, like that. So invariably, we are talking about a construction means a concrete structure only, maybe RCC structure or PSC structure or precast structure. So 90% of the material which goes into is cement and concrete. So it is, maintenance is required. It is a myth that if you go for a high performance concrete or high strength concrete, then my durability is there. No. So there, maintenance is required. Like our human beings, there is a lifespan. So repairs are, it is bound to occur. So repair, rehabilitation, retrofitting is another subject. Third is, what are you going to do with a structure which is 50-year-old, 60-year-old? There is you have done the repair. Overnight, you cannot vacate some 200 people, 300 families and ask them to go and rebuild the structure. So you cannot go on demolishing and rebuilding what we have built in last 20, 30 years or maybe 50 years. So this is another challenge. So we are talking about another technology called life extension of structures. Like you see human beings, when we got independence in 1947, our lifespan is 52 years. Today, it is 76 years because of medical science, medical technology, and we have a faith in that profession, and we have invested. If government has not invested, private people has invested, we have insurance, like that. So we have replicated, my concept, I have replicated the same concept called concrete healthcare professional services. This is the future of India, and I tied up, my organization is Rehab Technologies, I am the CEO. I tied up this idea with Pidilite Industries Limited, which is a 15,000 crore company, and now we are calling as Dr. Fix-It Concrete Healthcare Clinics, and we are doing a pilot project in Hyderabad. I am thanks to the management. So this is how innovations are happening in real estate also.
Right. So technology is not just AI, technology is also about, as Mr. Reddy mentioned, repair, retrofitting, and increasing the lifespan of the building. How many of you here think that we make great buildings, but we are very bad at maintaining them? How many? Okay. Yeah, I also believe the same. We are, fantastic at making beautiful buildings, but when it comes to maintenance after a few years. So this is where I think the challenge, and where these eminent experts are trying to address is, one is taking technology through the lifespan of the building, and then, as Mr. Reddy said, increasing the lifespan of the building, because as he said, we cannot just demolish buildings and keep making new ones. We need to extend the life of our existing buildings. On the closing note, we started with the budget, how do you rank it? But on the closing note, what is your outlook? Although the budget got very poor ratings from both our speakers, what's the closing sentiment? What's your outlook for the real estate? Mr. Reddy, starting with you, what's your outlook for the real estate in the coming years?
Yeah, see, when we look at the budget, any normal citizen, either he is a buyer or he is a builder, if it is an organized or even a small standalone apartment he is doing construction, or investors like FDIs, foreign direct investments, or financial institutions, or banks and NBFCs, non-banking financial institutes, what they look at budget, if I am this category. So there is no motivating any scheme which has been announced except the 12 lakhs for a middle class family. When I have done the deep drive of that one, hardly there are 1 crore people who are taking the advantage. Means most of them, they are below that 3-4 lakhs only. In this country, only 4.2 crore or 4.5 crore is the one who are income tax returnees, out of which almost 50 lakh people nil returns, because they have taken PAN number, they are making nil returns. And only 3 crore people only, they have sufficient money, they are above that standard deductions what previous regime was. In the previous regime, for example, 20 years back, I am the first home buyer. So I happily took the loan at 6.75%, thanks to then Vajpayee government, who is a visionary. If I put that bank on that day, it was 9.5%. And if I put it on a senior citizen, my family member, it was more than 10%. But I was forced to spend on construction, because roti ho gaya, kapda ho gaya, makan chahiye mere ko paila. So this budget, at least not for second or third home buyers, the first home buyer who is in a rented house, who is getting burdened by so much of inflation and other things, they would have encouraged them to buy a home, may not be from a big 3,000, 4,000 square feet, but some concessions they would have given, and created one more, another category where the interest, like previous one, where the interest and the principal amount can be deducted. Like you have to encourage the industry, because this is, after agriculture, this is the largest employment generator. And based on this sector, if a contractor, if he promotes a project, this is not just simply a manufacturing or a service. We are giving an employment to 290 industries, including cement, steel, and the 8 core sectors where we consume power and other things. And these 8 core sectors drive the Indian economy to the tune of 40%. So here the policy makers, they are not contacting the stakeholders. They are only talking to outside the real estate, not like this Reddy. I suggest my friend Rajshekar Reddy Garu, under his leadership, probably we will go back, we will meet the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman Garu. I will definitely lend my point by point, being not only an engineer but also an advocate. I have prepared a note of 15 pages. Till that note is getting added, more pages will be added. So we will go as a delegation and see that we will get our share in the interest of the nation, not in the interest, because this is a noble profession. Construction is noble profession. Today if you see, excess food is there. Even this country gets 4 years, 5 years starvation also. You see Supreme Court judgments, they said, why are you filling these godowns? Give it free of cost. That is the reason this government, our Prime Minister is giving Annadata, 93 crore people 5 kg rice. It is not because of his love and affection on the citizens, because Supreme Court said it. Otherwise, godowns are getting filled. Now one more crop will come.
I think like that's right. This is what like we can...
Because of manufacturing, high-scale manufacturing, today everyone is having 10 pairs of dresses, 20 pairs of dresses. This madam may be having 20, 30 saris also. Like that, this nation should have multiple houses. What's wrong in it? So only the vision is not there. Strategic vision is missing. And I am sure if we represent properly, not as a complaint on the country, nor on the policy makers, but our right as a citizen, if we project it properly, definitely we will be succeeding. Whatever there is deficiencies in budget, my stand is 2.5. Maybe after representation, it will increase. Thank you very much.
Yeah, fantastic. I think very rightly said, and we look forward to you presenting the paper to our finance minister. But that is very right, that affordable housing has not got that much focus, which is the need of the country, because we are still many million short of housing for our citizens. Hopefully, on a positive note, Last words from you, Amudhalingam.
I'll
What's
not
your
take- I'll
outlook
not
for
take
the
much,
sector?
time because I know there's a award function after this. Just to answer your rating question, I think we are so obsessed with Swiggy ratings and other ratings that we give that we wanted either 4 or 5. We are not ready to accept that 70s or 80s. Answering the future of real estate, resilience, one word, and adoption. So we have been talking about tall buildings, skyscrapers and everything, but the residential sector will start reforming itself into co-living for youngsters, senior living for senior citizens. The sector is going to have, you'll still do residential, but you'll not do only for that. It now will start catering specific communities like co-living, where there are a young couple who moves from a rural to urban community, and they are not ready to things, but the co-living option helps them out. So you will see start co-living growing more in next 5 years. You will see senior living where people have settled and they have already have their wards settled in US or foreign countries, everything. They want to have a healthcare plus taken care. Then you will start having more robust senior living coming in. I see already that happening in all the big metro cities, which will have changes here. We never heard about warehousing and other sectors 4 years back. You see them now moving.
Data centers.
We are talking about a lot of data digitization, so you will see a lot of data centers coming in. You will see reuse of your commercial offices to become data centers, or you will see reuse of or your retail becoming this. I will not be surprised seeing a retail becoming a co-living office. So there will be reuses of different things happening, which will also keep the industry churning for the revenue and model that you have.
So what Mr. Amudhalingam is saying, we are going to see a lot of micro trends and micro segments coming in real estate because the need is evolving over the time. Warehousing because of e-commerce. Data centers because we are now digital India. In fact, there was a report that we are probably will become the data center of the world very soon. Senior living, co-living are some of the segments that we are already seeing are on the rise. And as Mr. Reddy said, that affordable housing is one segment that where we need lot of focus, not only of the sector, of the government, but also of the developers, of the entire real estate industry. So I think on that note, coming from the technocrats and the engineers, not the developers, not the government, not the other, but those who are doing it on the ground and building it, coming from them, I think we have got some really candid insights from our speakers on what should be the way forward, and we couldn't have ended the conclave on a better note than this. Thank you so much to both our speakers, Mr. Reddy and Mr. Amudhalingam.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a full house. Can I please expect all of you to give a huge, huge, huge round of applause? Successful, inspiring stories indeed. Calls for a bigger celebration to celebrate the legacy. I'll request Sapna Srivastava to please kindly hand over the token of appreciation to our guests. Please come forward. Thank you. Yeah. And once all the token of appreciations are given, after that, we'll do a group photo. Ladies and gentlemen, after this, we are having a presentation, post which we will be ending the conclave, and then we'll be having a 7 to 8 minutes break, post which we will be resuming with the awards. So thank you so much. Please give them a big round of applause once again, please. Please give a huge round of applause to Sapna Srivastava as well, leading the editorial policy over there at Realty Plus. Truly amazing marks. Thank you so much.